Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So I am just a little bit sick today, so apologies in advance. I'm not horribly sick, but my health isn't always the greatest, and I don't know why it's not great right now. But anyway, I actually wanted to make this video because although it's not the Deltarune Theory video, which I promise you that will be coming at some point soon, I hope anyway, that I actually wanted to talk about this instead because there's already been a little bit of drama sort of involved with this certain creator that I think we all know and we all have heard of before, and I just thought it'd be kind of interesting if I, shared kind of some of my thoughts, on the whole ordeal. So I'm pretty sure we all know about the one, the only, and the, I think, mostly beloved MrBeast. We've heard of him, right? He's a great creator. He's made a lot of seriously good stuff. I mean, props to him. His whole team and his friends and everyone, I have to give them high credit where credit is due. They do amazing work. And they come up with some pretty good ideas, too. Not sure how much of it is real and how much of it is AI anymore, but even if it is AI, it probably still takes quite a lot of editing. Now, I heard about the whole editing thing and the whole AI promotion he's been doing recently, but I'm not here to really talk about that. Look, I can't say I fully support it, but again, this is a millionaire we're talking about, and millionaire, billionaire, what's the difference at this point? Either way, they're all gonna, do something a little fishy every so often, but I'm not here to criticize on MrBeast for that, no. And we're not here to talk about, Jimmy and whether or not he's a good person. What I wanted to talk about today was the Mr. B Games. You heard of that show, right? MrBeast Games. It was on Amazon. Maybe around a year-ish ago, if not less or so. But anyway, I got to watch that whole series, and well, I guess my thoughts on it. Oh boy, that's a really complicated question for me to answer, so I think we'll just, slowly dissect, section by section, my thoughts on the show itself. Now, for starters, I did finish the whole series. As of now, the whole series has been recorded, it's done. I got to see who won, the grand prize of the millions of dollars that probably could have gone towards something else, but instead went to one random person out of 1,000, but we'll get to that later. So, watching the show, it was very difficult for me. I had to kind of physically turn off my brain, which technically that's not possible, but in a way I pretty much had to shut off all my brain cells, meaning I couldn't think, too deeply about anything. I just had to take what was given to me at face value in order to even watch the show, because it was just kind of hard to watch otherwise. It definitely wasn't, a hell compared to Squid Games, but it was honestly, in my opinion, a little too close for comfort, Because we see all these, 1,000 contestants, right? All these really excited people, really excited to be on the show, being all right, let's see what I can win. And then, I think not even, in the first episode, not even, I think, close to it maybe, barely over half, if not only half the contestants made it through on the first day. And that's the first day we're talking about. They were, I think, around 10-ish episodes. I could be wrong. Maybe it was closer to 8 to 10. We'll just guess around there. But either way, over half of them were already eliminated. And it was really hard to just kind of watch as people would cry in front of the camera and have to face the harsh reality that they lost. They didn't win. And they lost their chance to win, too. Because in case we didn't know, a lot of these people, they're humans. We're all humans on this planet, hopefully, unless there's secretly aliens on Area 51, but I digress. They were people who were coming from, horrible debt or facing terrible economic issues or, facing through some of life's greatest struggles. And here they are with this big hope that they could win something big to, change their lives and help other people and help themselves, and it all gets thrown down a chute of some sort. Because that's how MrBeast like to cast away their people, as literally throwing them into the abyss. Not that I think the abyss was dangerous. Clearly those people survived, obviously, but I'm just saying, they were quite literally thrown away like trash once they were done being toyed with. And I didn't really like that visualization or kind of representation of that matter, because, like, although it makes, the show more interesting to watch, it makes it so hard to see these people, cry and then get disposed of because they're no longer part of the show, because they've already lost. And then it hurts to see their dreams get crushed. And I mean, at the time I wrote this, like, sort of script I'm kind of half reading right now, like, it was probably, like, during only the first few episodes, and I was like, well, hardly anyone won anything. Now, that's not true, and I was proven this sort of wrong on the last episode, but, like, a lot of those people, I think, only got, like, $2,000 just for participating. No. If I were them, I would have asked MrBeast for, like, $5,000 at minimum to have my, my butt dragged across the U.S. to wherever, city he's built himself out of his millions and participate in these games that I was most likely never going to win in the first place. But again, all that money, it was life-changing money, like life-changing. And those people had every right to cry on the camera. They lost that opportunity. It was just so hard to watch. And I'm sure, like, maybe some of those people did sign a contract or consent to being recorded, but still, it's really hard to ignore, like, how inhumane the show kind of was at the time. It wasn't at any, like, level of Squid Game, but it was pretty darn close, the mental mind games that were being played with a lot of the games and stuff, and how much just seemed more like a mental mind game than an actual physical game, which I think MrBeast in someone else's video that I saw commented on did agree that there wasn't enough physical challenges, and he did feel bad about that. So hopefully that changes, because again, it's not alright that the rich are kind of manipulating the poor in a way, is kind of how I see it. MrBeast manipulated a lot of these people with the promise of this life-changing amount of money that I guess everyone knew that not everyone was going to get that opportunity to have it. But it's still sad to see when they did have the opportunity and that was just stripped away just for the sake of, a game show. Now, I know game shows tend to do that a lot, but I think what's, like, different compared to, like, MrBeast games versus other game shows is that, like, other game shows, they don't really, rub it in the contestant's face. Like, they don't directly, like, rub it in being like, oh, look at these people who are crying because they lost. Like, everyone that came to play on the game show, like, fully signed a contract. I'm sure they at least had fun playing the game, and they knew what they may or may not be getting out of it. But, like, other than that, it was just very devastating to watch all these other people play on MrBeast games and, again, not get anything or get very little out of it at the end for all the hard work they had to go through, which, again, very, very mind-breaking and just not okay. I did not appreciate seeing the contestants used for our entertainment, and I kind of wished it was the show recorded a little less like a drama show and a little less like, just an average MrBeast video. Like, the way they dramatized everything just kind of made it all feel like a bunch of different YouTube episodes that you'd expect to see on YouTube and not, a TV show. And again, it wasn't fun watching the games. I think some of the other things I saw, too, are that there were certain people that were specifically portrayed to, like, look like the villain. Like, specific people that were, like, playing the games in the show and then, doing things to give them the advantage and help them win. And I just didn't appreciate that at all, because, like, greed is very human of us. We are greedy. We live in an economy, in a market economy, where we are very individualists. Like, we are like, me, myself, and I. That is who is most important. And maybe family, but family is really just an extension of you, so don't think that counts for anything. Unless you're giving money to a stranger and not your family, you're thinking of you, yourself, and, well, more so you. It doesn't work as well with me, myself, and I, versus when I say you. The saying doesn't work as well, but I digress. And it was, again, really sad to see that the camera and the way the music would change and how many victims were created out of it and how many villains were created out of this whole TV show. It just wasn't fun to watch these people suffer, and some of those people have to be, depicted as greedy and depicted as bad people when they aren't bad people. They're just humans. And as humans are filled with individualism and What would you expect if given the chance to continue to move on in those games, or to be given a huge sum of money that no one could take away from you? And, like, the cost would be for others to lose, but then you'd gain the benefit, and of course you'd want to be the one to gain the benefit in the end. I don't think those people were selfish. I don't think those two, specific brothers who manipulated that girl into eliminating herself were selfish. They just wanted what was best for them. Of course, you'd think it'd be selfish because, again, they were kind of manipulating her in a way, but that could just be how the show was making them look as well. As I said, it's just very sad to see that. I feel like MrBeast games did manipulate the looks of a lot of people and the personalities of them when we're not getting the full picture. So please, if you did watch the games and you did root for, certain people and then boo at others, please reconsider how you think of those people, because, again, they are human like us, and of course some humans are going to be a little more greedy than others. It's unrealistic if, of some of those people, because I don't think everyone would want to give, $1 million away willingly, especially if they only have the $1 million, and not like, millions upon millions like MrBeast. And I don't think competition's, again, a bad thing, but it can also be a tricky thing to work with, and I just don't feel like showing off certain people as, some specifically wholesome and others specifically as evil is realistic. And I think, again, the cameras only show what they want to show. The show only showed us what they wanted us to see, and not really what went behind the scenes. Now, I also heard some weird stuff about behind the scenes stuff as well, but I don't know enough about that to really comment on it. So I just really hope everyone is okay. No one was killed in the game show, in MrBeast games, but I do feel like a lot of people were hurt and not treated, I think, with the respect they truly deserved, which I think is a little problematic when you're running a game show, So yeah, at the time I made the script, I think we were on episode 9, so I think there was about 10 episodes in the series. But now, as you all know, the series is completed. So, yeah, hopefully you guys didn't hate this video. Maybe hit that like and maybe consider subscribing. Ha ha ha. Doing YouTube outro. I'm not used to doing that. But yeah, you guys let me know what you guys thought of MrBeast games in the comments and what your experience was and if you watched the show. But yeah, I will be back with hopefully Deltarune theories by the time the next video comes out. So yeah, I will see you all in the next one.